a test of physical strength and moral resilience. That's how servicemen describe the psychological obstacle course that recruits go through during basic training. The special route is part of the training for soldiers of the 118th Mechanized Brigade. How do the fighters forge their character? Find out next.
Cover the sector. Now move to the next objective. Move. Come on, cover the sector.
Divided into groups and covering each other, the recruits of the 118th Mechanized Brigade are overcoming the obstacle course. This is an important stage of basic military training. The soldiers are training their speed and endurance, toughening their character, and practicing coordination.
Here we are working specifically on communication and covering each other. That is, they are not only physically overcoming obstacles, but also covering each other, which is very important. That's why it's comprehensive here. There's also a psychological impact.
The future servicemen are not taking on this special course for the first time and are hoping for good results. After all, the more training, the higher the level of preparedness.
The first time was hard. Now it will probably be a bit easier because we've already gotten used to the gear, to the plates, to this load, so I think it will be better. So as not to fall along the way, you just need to set your mind confidently and move forward. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Various challenges of varying difficulty lie ahead. FPV drones circle above and explosions echo. This kind of combat simulation is no coincidence. Every single location on the course is designed to teach newcomers to work as a team and to act quickly and correctly in difficult and demanding conditions.
Our task is to make sure they stay alive. The most important thing is for them to develop critical thinking, to think, to act, and to be able to communicate. That's the main thing, because in war there are a million different situations. Unfortunately, we can't work through or practice all of them, so the most important thing here is that they act according to the situation.
Together with his comrades, a 27-year-old soldier with the call sign Mishara is also practicing military skills. We met him at the very beginning of the training. Before being mobilized, he worked in the IT field, and now he is learning to skillfully operate drones and mastering military affairs. He is convinced that in the military, every bit of experience and knowledge matters.
You can find yourself in absolutely any situation. If at some point in the future you need to do a pull-up or jump over something, then yes, you should definitely give it a try at least once beforehand. At least you have the understanding, yes, I've done this before, I can jump over here, I know I can do it, and that will help me. It could even save my life.
After finishing the training, 25-year-old Vitaly now shares his personal impressions. He says, the obstacle course is an opportunity to test not only your physical fitness.
Besides physical exertion, it's also psychological stress. And in combat conditions, well, it's all quite similar. That is, whether it's a drone flying overhead or a firefight, it's hard for a person both morally and physically. And it's very important for a person to go through this kind of training.
The instructors closely monitor the recruits. They share their own combat experience with the new recruits. And you can support the soldiers of the 118th Brigade, both those who have just joined the service and those who have been defending Ukraine for years, using the details now shown on the screen. Ina Hogun, Iho Vorobe, Podrobitsi, Inter-TV channel, United News Marathon.
Air defense is one of the main tasks for our soldiers on the front line, to prevent enemy drones from attacking Ukrainian positions and equipment. For this, a simple yet highly reliable tool is needed. Our war correspondent Ruslan Smishchuk is currently working with a mobile unit of the 25th Sieczyslaw Airborne Brigade in the Donetsk region, and now he will show us exactly how they defend the sky.
The modern Ukrainian interceptor drone P-1 San is a quadcopter capable of shooting down Shaheds. We are working with a mobile unit of the 25th Sieczyslaw Airborne Brigade, which is actively hunting down enemy UAVs. We are filming very carefully because these crews are a priority target for the enemy.
The most important thing is that it's a domestic product. It is manufactured in Ukraine, and a very large number of components are also Ukrainian. This is a fully, let's say, locally sourced and manufactured production. This is this year's technological expertise and know-how. Right now, a lot of diverse and specialized modifications are appearing. This specialized aircraft was created exclusively to shoot down Shaheds.
Such crews operate throughout the country, but the frontline teams are especially important. They are capable of shooting down enemy Shaheds and other heavy enemy drones even at the stage of entering the airspace.
There are limitations to its control range, and unfortunately, the enemy also uses certain tactics to counter our defenses. They understand that, for example, in this specific area, there is a heavy concentration of anti-Shahed crews. Consequently, they start to bypass this area, meaning they change their flight paths and approach from other directions to avoid us. And that is exactly where innovative solutions like a mobile fire group equipped with advanced drones come into play. This is especially true when it can, so to speak, proactively go out to any specific location. Yes, naturally taking some necessary time to deploy effectively and to fully understand the local terrain, right? It has the capability to operate at any given point. And this strategic flexibility helps us adapt as quickly as humanly possible to the various new routes that the Shaheds consistently take.
The list of targets for the crew is quite extensive. There are both strike and reconnaissance drones here, the interceptor pilot explains.
Shahed, Gerbera, Zala, Supercam, Lancet.
Even Lancets.
Yes. The equipment allows it. We have to actively pursue and track the Shaheds for a bit. We managed to intercept and catch up to the Gerbera in a very short amount of time. The Lancet, well, that's a very slow target for us. Well, we catch up to it too and take it down.
Stanislav says, whenever possible, the crew tries to bring down enemy drones as far away from residential areas as they can, so that the debris from downed UAVs doesn't harm civilians.
Because the mobile group is very effective. Today we're here, tomorrow we're there, the day after tomorrow somewhere else. We're constantly analyzing our work, watching where the Shaheds come in most often. Because over the last few days, I don't know if it's intentional or not, but they've been consistently coming in along the same route for several days in a row. I was actively chasing a Shahed drone. The moment of impact was at 133 meters. While I was flying towards it, I saw cars driving, animals wandering through the fields. We try our best not to let them into the cities, to intercept them more in the fields.
Could you tell me the direction of Stepanivka 71?
There were moments when neighboring crews shot them down literally right above us, so it was what it was. When it fell about 50 meters from you, well, that's something else.
Next, Stanislav recalls one of the battles that vividly and clearly demonstrates the effectiveness of such mobile groups.
For our crew, we set a little personal record. Within a span of just 12 minutes, we successfully shot down 5 Shaheds. That was just for us, really.
All duties within the crew are carefully distributed.
I serve as the navigator and spotter. My primary job is to gather and constantly monitor all the critical information coming from our various detection equipment and sensors. And as soon as there is even the slightest indication or suspicious movement suggesting that it might be a potential enemy target, I immediately relay that information to the pilot, and we scramble to take off into the air, instantly beginning our search as we try to detect and destroy the threat as quickly and efficiently as we possibly can.
Dmitro is a recent addition to the crew, and he recalls the first Shahed he shot down. They detected it literally by ear.
I've only recently started working specifically in the anti-Shahed unit. Previously, we were primarily focused on reconnaissance wings, and we were generally positioned in much closer proximity to the line of combat contact. So the fundamental core responsibilities and primary aspects of that previous job have seamlessly transitioned and carried over to this one, so to speak. But yes, quite recently, when I first joined the unit, I can still very clearly and vividly remember the very first Shahed drone that my pilot successfully managed to shoot down. There were absolutely no radar or visual detections in this specific area where we are currently located. We simply heard the target acoustically, which prompted us to take off immediately. From that point, it only took our team a few short minutes to successfully locate the object and completely destroy it.
Every day, these units protect the Ukrainian sky, both on the front lines and deep in the rear. Reporting from the Eastern Front, Ruslan Smishchuk, De Brown, and Oleg Kukarski. Details, Inter TV channel, United News Marathon.